and I'll put the link in here shortly. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Tai. Thank you, Tai.
Thank you, Kevin, for inviting me, and the whole team for inviting me again to present. I'm just going to share my slides with you quickly, so please do bear with me. So hopefully you can all see my slides. I do hope so. Again, for this evening, I'll be talking about sickle cell disease and nutrition. It's a very topical subject to talk about, and actually, you know, when it comes to health overall, sickle cell disease isn't really much focused on. So I'm quite happy that we are looking at that today and in relation to nutrition. So before I talk about nutrition and sickle cell disease, I'm just going to give you a brief overview on what sickle cell disease is actually. So sickle cell disease refers to a group of red blood cells, which is what we all have in our body that carries oxygen to different parts of our organs. So it's a group of red blood cells disorder in which the most serious type of sickle cell disease is sickle cell anemia. A normal red blood cell is usually a smooth round shape. So in the image I have on the right, you'll see two types of red blood cells. So a normal red blood cell will look like the one in the left, so the circle red blood cell. So that is a normal one. But someone who has a sickle red blood cell has almost a crescent moon shape. So that's what you see on the right. So someone who has sickle cell disease normally are presented with sickle cells or crescent moon shaped red blood cells. With sickle cells, they don't live as long as normal healthy red blood cells, and they are very difficult to pass through small blood vessels. So this can be quite dangerous because this can slow or block blood flow and also oxygen to other parts of the body. And this causes a lot of symptoms and consequences for those who do have sickle cell disease. So the cause of sickle cell disease is genetic. So sickle cell disease is caused by a gene that affects how red blood cells develop. And it's normally inherited by parents. So if both parents have the gene, there's a 1 in 4 chance, so a 25% chance of each child being born with sickle cell disease. If the child's parents often don't have sickle cell disease, then they are normally classified as having a sickle cell trait or a sickle cell carrier. In the UK, approximately 15,000 people have sickle cell disease or sickle cell disorder. Even though sickle cell disease can affect anyone, it mainly affects people from African and Caribbean backgrounds. So this is, again, very, very topical that we are talking about sickle cell disease, because in mainstream health services and mainstream media, sickle cell disease isn't really focused much on in comparison to type 2 diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular disease, and stroke. So what are the symptoms of sickle cell disease? So in a nutshell, these are some of the symptoms of sickle cell disease. So as I mentioned, because the sickle cells are unable to carry enough oxygen around parts of the body and can restrict blood flow, and people may experience pain as a result. You may often hear people say that, oh, they've experienced a sickle cell crisis, which is an accumulation of pain. Some people may experience anemia, shortness of breath, lung problems, and this may be due to the lack of oxygen being supplied around the area, risk of serious infections, and delayed growth. So these are some of the symptoms of sickle cell disease. Obviously, it does differ from person to person, but these are just some of the main ones. So we're going to look at the nutritional considerations of sickle cell disease. So before I talk about this, actually, we know that sickle cell disease is a lifelong condition, and people normally require treatment to help manage their condition and also reduce the risk of complications too. So you may often hear people say that they are taking certain pain medications to manage their pain levels, or taking antibiotics to reduce the risk of infections or to manage their infections. You may also hear people saying that they are undergoing blood transfusions, or maybe asking for blood donors as well. And also, you may also hear people talk about stem cell or bone marrow transplants, because this can be used to treat sickle cell disease. However, these are often not done much because of the risk that they carry. So whilst there are certain medical considerations that can help to manage sickle cell disease, there's also nutritional considerations that we actually need to consider. And again, this isn't really much highlighted in mainstream healthcare services, because it's not really educated amongst a lot of healthcare professionals. So sometimes we don't really know how to manage sickle cell disease when they are presented with patients who have the condition. So one of the nutritional consideration is to drink plenty of fluids. So I mentioned about something called sickle cell crisis. This is when people experience very severe pains. And what we do know is that dehydration is one of the main triggers for a sickle cell crisis. So therefore, it's very important that individuals who do have sickle cell disease remain hydrated throughout the whole day. The general NHS recommendation is that the population drink between 6 to 8 glasses of fluids daily. However, if you do experience warmer weathers or you're exercising, then your fluid requirements will increase even more, and you have to drink even more fluids. So some of the fluids that you can drink that contribute towards your fluid intake are things like water, milk, juice, smoothies, tea and coffee. However, where possible, try to opt for the decaffeinated options, and try to be mindful of how much tea and coffee you are drinking, because again, that can also cause dehydration if you are drinking a lot. And also, we do know that there are some foods that have a very high fluid content. So things like soup, so like your pepper soup or your bonnet soup or your spinach stew, these have a very high fluid content. So where possible, when you're having your meals, try to have soups and stews alongside of them. We also know that fruits and vegetables also have a very high water content. So things like watermelon, cucumbers, courgettes, and tomatoes, they can also contribute towards your fluid intake. I'm not sure if there are some Nigerians here, but having things like gari, which is a type of processed cassava, which comes in a normal grain form. Some people may mix it with water or mix it with milk. This can actually be a way to stay hydrated. Or some people may have ogi or pap mixed with cold water or milk, and this is also another way to stay hydrated. If you do drink alcohol, try to reduce your intake, because excessive alcohol intake can cause dehydration, which in turn can trigger sickle cell disease crisis. Another nutrition consideration is to try nourishing fluids. So oftentimes people who do have sickle cell disease, because they are experiencing a pain crisis, they may not be able to eat much. They may notice a reduction in their appetites. And it's just so important that where possible, that you are drinking nourishing fluids, so fluids that contain extra calories and extra protein, so that you can prevent any weight loss. So some examples of nourishing fluids are things like nourishment. So what we do know is that 1 can contains about 400 calories, which is quite a lot. But if you're not really eating much throughout the whole day, this can be a way to boost your calorie intake. And it's also quite high in protein as well. Other examples of nourishing fluids are things like outpro protein yogurts. So you'll probably see in a pouch format. You'll see outpro plant-based chocolate milk for those who are plant-based, and also Miracle peanut punch drink. So you'll often see this in supermarkets and even in your ethnic stores as well. Peanut punch drink for sure, because a lot of Caribbean individuals tend to drink this. But if you don't really want to buy nourishing fluids from the shops, you can also make your own. So you can make your own nourishing fluids by using Nido milk powder, which contains extra calories and extra protein. You can add this into your cup of tea. You can add this into your porridge or to any milkshake beverage that you want. Also, you may consider having Milo. So Milo is a very popular chocolate milk that a lot of Nigerians and Ghanaians consume. So, and it's quite high in calories and protein as well. And it also contains the extra goodness that you need. So this can be a way to stay hydrated, but then also gets you extra calories and extra protein that you need. However, if you do have another condition like type 2 diabetes or high cholesterol levels, then you may want to speak to your GP or to your dietitian to see if these types of fluids are appropriate for you. Eat little and often. So a loss of appetite is one of the main consequences that some people may experience when they have sickle cell disease. And so some people might feel very overwhelmed by eating large meals or having large portion sizes. And so it's really important that where possible that you are having frequent small meals. So having very small meals throughout the whole day. I normally say have between 5 to 6 small meals throughout the whole day rather than 3 main big meals. And where possible, also have very small snacks in between. That's a way for you to get your calories, get your protein, get all of the nutrients that your body needs to keep you strong. Also, what we do know is that when it comes to loss of appetite, which might increase the risk of weight loss or malnutrition, this can also cause a vicious cycle. So some people may experience risk of infections due to not having enough nutrients or due to their body not being strong enough to fight any infections. So it's really important that you are having as much nutrients as possible. And also, if you're experiencing weight loss or at risk of malnutrition, it can also increase pain that you might be experiencing. So it's really important to build up your body. When it comes to snacks, we do have some examples of some nourishing snacks. So things like ground nuts or cashew nuts, you can consume this as part of your diet. When it comes to cashew nuts or almonds or walnuts, try to go for the plain ones rather than the salted ones, because even the salted cashew nuts can also quench your thirst and may also increase the feeling of dehydration as well. So try to go for the unsalted plain ones. Also, we've got unsalted or lightly salted plantain crisp, got popcorn, cheese and crackers, agege bread or hardo bread, dumplings, a slice of cake, or patty or meat pie or pastry. These are some nourishing snacks that you can incorporate in your diet when you're not really feeling as hungry. Make fiber your friends, and this is just so important because as a prevention for sickle cell crisis, or even just to manage a sickle cell crisis as well, doctors or GPs might prescribe you with pain medications. And what we do know with pain medications is that it can make some people feel very, very constipated. So again, more reason to be drinking more fluids so that your bowel has that regular movement, and also to increase your fiber intake too. In the UK, we're not really eating much fiber at all, and the general recommendation is that we have at least 30 grams of fiber a day. In the UK, we're having about 18 grams of fiber, so even more reason to increase our fiber intake. And some examples of some foods that contain high fiber are things like ofado rice. So it's a very high fiber rice, and you can get it in most ethnic African stores or shops. Wholemeal pita bread, wholemeal hardo bread as well. So, you know, this is something that I recently discovered because I didn't know that you can get like a brown hardo bread. It's normally just a brown slice of bread, and with hardo bread, it's just white bread. But I didn't know there's a wholemeal version as well. So, you know, do your research and try to find shops that actually sell wholemeal hardo bread if that's something that you consume. Wholemeal spaghetti and brown rice, fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, and even some breakfast cereals have a really, really high fiber content. So things like wheat biscuits, like Weetabix, and bran flakes, they contain high fiber. Also porridge as well. So oats, they have a really high fiber content. If you eat things like potatoes, try to ensure that the skin is on. So for example, if you're having a jacket potato, try to eat it with the skin because that's where you'll find the fiber. And things like black-eyed peas contains fiber. So these are just some examples of ways to incorporate more fiber into your diet. Folic acid. So folic acid is a B vitamin that we all need, and this actually helps for the body to form healthy red blood cells. So it's very, very important that you are incorporating good dietary sources of folic acid or folate. And some examples of foods that are quite high in folic acid are things like spinach or your effor. Cassava contains a good amount of folic acid, or fufu. Groundnuts, again, fortified breakfast cereals contain folic acid. And it's really important that you are reading the nutritional labels because it would say fortified with folic acid or fortified with B vitamins. Brussels sprouts, again, another source of folic acid. Orange, chickpeas, black-eyed peas, red kidney beans, and baked beans. These are all some examples of foods that contain folic acid. And then you've got another important mineral, which is iron. So again, it's really important that you are including some good food sources of iron. We all need iron because it helps to create, it's really important in making red blood cells, which again carries oxygen around the body. So where possible, incorporate as much iron as you can in your diet. Some examples of things like spinach and effor, which is also a really good source of folic acid. Plantain contains small amounts of iron. So again, if you do eat things like plantain, it's worth adding that in your diet. Groundnuts, fortified breakfast cereals, chicken, salmon, mackerel, your oily fish contains iron. Liver is a really, really good source of iron. However, if you are pregnant, then you should avoid eating liver because it also has a very high amount of vitamin A. And what we do know with vitamin A is that when it's consumed in excess, it can be quite damaging to baby. So, you know, where possible, try to avoid eating liver or liver-related products. Chickpeas, egusi seeds, red kidney beans, broccoli, and pumpkin leaves are really good sources of iron. And just a quick tip, if you are incorporating iron food sources in your diet, it's really important that you also include vitamin C food sources alongside of this, because this can actually help to enhance iron absorption. So some examples of foods that contain vitamin C are things like your citrus fruits, like your oranges, your lemon, your lime, strawberries, blueberries. These contains vitamin C, even some vegetables as well. So like your lettuce, your broccoli. These are really, really good sources of vitamin C. Or you can have a vitamin C, not vitamin C, but you can have a small glass of orange juice alongside of your meal, because that can also help to absorb iron absorption. So when it comes to supplements, some people think that they need to take an iron supplement or a folic acid supplement to, get all of the nutrients that they need. This can be the case for some people, but not all. So if you are thinking of taking any supplements, it's really important to speak to your doctor regarding supplementation. So some people may require taking a folic acid supplement, especially if they are a woman and they are pregnant or planning to be pregnant, then it's really important to take a folic acid supplement. And also folic acid supplement helps to stimulate the production of red blood cells too. When it comes to iron supplements, a lot of people think that, okay, I need to take iron supplements. And there's actually a common misconception that anemia caused by sickle cell disease is the same as anemia caused by iron deficiency. This is not the same at all. And the conditions are very, very different. So don't take an iron supplement to treat sickle cell disease anemia without speaking to your doctor first. And in some cases, it can actually be quite dangerous, especially for those who have frequent blood transfusions. So those who have frequent blood transfusions may be experiencing iron overload. So if you were to take an iron supplement when you have high iron levels, it can be quite detrimental. So before you take an iron supplement, make sure you speak to your GP to see if it's suitable for you. However, the supplement that everyone should be taking, regardless if they have sickle cell disease or not, is vitamin D, especially as we know that sickle cell disease is very prevalent amongst the Black community, and we know that vitamin D deficiency is also prevalent amongst the Black community. So it's really important that every single day we are taking a vitamin D supplement, at least 10 micrograms a day. Some people might need more, some people might need less. However, 10 micrograms is the standard for everyone. So that's it for me for now, but I am open to any questions that you might have on sickle cell disease and nutrition.
Thank you so much, Tai. That was wonderful. Does anybody have any questions? Iba, can I hand over to you?
Yes, please. Let me check the chat box to see. I don't see any question. Does anyone want to ask anything before we hand over to Doretta? Sickle cell is really, really very common amongst us Blacks. Do we not have any questions in relation to our nutrition? No, thank you. But that was
wonderful. I have a question. The question is, you know, when you sickle cell, what are the traits? I mean, how do you recognize sickle cell? What does it actually do to the body?
Okay, so hopefully you can still hear me. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So with sickle cell disease, normally it's actually detected during pregnancy or soon after birth. So in the UK, when a woman gives birth, it's really important that all hospitals check the child, do blood measurements to check if the child has any genetic disorders or any health conditions. And normally babies are offered a spot test or a prick test just to check that they don't have any genetic disorders. However, some people may not have this when they're a child, and so it's only when they do get older and when they do blood tests or go to their GP, that's when it's often flagged up that they do have sickle cell disease or have a sickle cell trait. So for it to get to that stage, some people may experience things like pain or feeling quite tired due to sickle cell disease anemia, which can cause people to feel very, very tired. They may also experience pain episodes as well. They may also experience serious infections, so they may notice that maybe they often feel quite poorly most of the times, or experience shortness of breath. These are some symptoms of sickle cell disease, and it's only when you're presented with some of these symptoms or you're admitted to the hospital, that's when it's flagged up that, oh, you may have sickle cell disease, or you might be a carrier. And so that's really important for every Black person living in the UK to go routinely for a blood test, just to check if they have the gene or if they have the trait. So it's really important that we all go for a blood test so that this can be flagged up as soon as possible.
Okay, so it's something that you're born with, that you find when at birth.
Yes.
I was going to say, does sickle cell also cause you to have sores on your skin and things like that?
Yes,
it doesn't heal.
Yes, that's a really, yes, it does. So, as I mentioned, those with sickle cell disease are at risk of infections, and that's because they may experience that their immune system is compromised, and that's just simply because of the lack of iron. We do know that iron helps to support the normal functioning of the immune system, as well as folic acid, and so there's all of these other important nutrients. And so some people may experience that the immune system is compromised, and again so obviously when they've hurt themselves, they may find that it takes quite a long time for it to heal, or they may experience some pressure ulcers or pressure sores as well. So it is related in some way.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Tai. That was great. I think what I love about these sessions is what we learn every week, and and the awareness that it gives us. Because if you are, you're in a family, you've got somebody who has some of those symptoms, it makes you, well, let me consider, is it possibly sickle cell? So therefore, you go and get somebody, you go and encourage the person to be checked for that. And I think we need to just keep building on, this knowledge that we have. And we are so lucky to have such great, great people to speak to us. Tai, thank you so much for a really clear and, informative session. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and again, learned some more. I think I've just got one more question here. If you have the trait for sickle cell, do you still need to eat all the things that you have mentioned? This will be my last question before I hand over to Doretta. Thank you.
So that's a very good question. So, it's really important, regardless if you have sickle cell disease or have a sickle cell trait, or don't have sickle cell disease, it's important to have a balanced diet, and it's important to incorporate all of these nutrients in your diet in some way. So focusing on iron, focusing on fiber. I mentioned that most of us are not really eating much fiber in the UK, so again, even more reason to eat more fiber. As women, our iron requirements are also higher to a certain age, so it's really important that we are incorporating more fiber in our diet, more iron in our diet. And depending on the life cycle as well, or our life stage, folic acid is very important too. So especially if you're pregnant or planning to be pregnant, it's something that we should all be focusing on. So yes, even though you may have a sickle cell trait, it's still important to incorporate these nutrients in your diet.
Thank you again. Does that answer the question for Martha?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Now, before we go on to Doretta, thank you very much. I just want to say that the slides will be available from CAHN. So please, as we always say, encourage you to, send us your details, let us know how we can contact you and help us to help you, is what we always say. I have mentioned throughout the session so far, we are doing a survey. We've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now. The survey is now live. There's a link in the chat box. Please, it takes a couple of minutes to fill in. That would be wonderful if you could do that. And next week, we're going to be looking at breakfast. So please, can you send us your pictures of your breakfast? We're being accountable for what we eat. And if there's a phone number in there where you can send it just via WhatsApp, and let us see what you're eating, and if we can help to improve prove that. I know I won't be sending the pictures of my planting and fried bacon. But anyway, before I start sort of getting myself into trouble, I'm going to hand over to Doretta. Thanks, Doretta.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I hope you can all see me. Hi, and welcome to CAHN's Healthy Hearts 1. Today we're going to be working with the bands again. And we're going to be doing some work on the floor. Like I told you last week, we did the upper body last week, so we're going to be working on the floor today. So if you have a mat, get yourself a mat and put that onto the floor. So I hope you're all well, and get the bands. If you received your bands, they would be like from CAHN. They'll look like this. So this is what we're going to be using tonight, and we're going to be using these on the legs, and we're going to warm up as well. We're going to have a proper warm up, a good old warm up. I just want to say as well, disclaimer, please, 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 before you take part in the exercises, please do watch first, and please don't push yourself. If you can do them, you do them, but don't push yourself. And remember to have your water, to have a towel, and to rest when you need to rest. Work at your pace. And if you need to seek any medical advice, please go and seek that advice to ensure that you can exercise and take part in the exercises. So we're working on the legs, the whole of the legs and the hips and the lower abs today. So we're going to get warmed up, and we're going to do a few bits and pieces. So let's stand to our feet. Let's start. Okay. Hope you enjoy the session, guys. Just work at your pace, please. So standing nice and tall. Bear with me. We're going to be running on the spot. So we're just lifting the feet, keep the arms, we're not taking the arms back, we're not sprinting. So we're just here bouncing those arms and running on the spot. Good. Lifting those knees on the spot we're running. If you want to, you can go forward and backward, forward and backwards. Or you can go to the side, side to side, but just keep running. Keep moving. Good. Getting the heart rate going. You might be feeling on your bottom as well, the side of your hips, as you're lifting and running on the spot. Feeling it in the lower abs. Remember to keep the posture nice and tall. And even if you're sitting, you can still lift those knees if you're sitting. And let's just keep going. 10, 9, straight into star jumps. Watch first. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Star jumps are here. 20 star jumps. Taking the legs out and the arms go up. If you can't jump, step. Single arm, step. If you can't jump, you can just step it out. Good. If you can jump, off we go. Legs and arms go out together. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Marching on the spot. March it out. Good. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the shoulders, take them back. Open the chest and squeeze the back. Good. Now forward. Open the back and squeeze the chest. Open the back, squeeze at the front. Good. Big arm circles back. Take it right back, arms up. If you can't take your arms up, do here. Hands on the shoulders, roll it back. Make those elbows do the circle. Hey, come on. Have some fun. Good. Forward. Good. Forward. If you can do big arms, take them forward. Good. We're just warming up, guys. Take the hand here to the chin, to the chest, the belly button, or the hips, and take those knees up. Let's step it up. Take it in stages. At the hips. Lift, lift, lift. At the belly button. Lift, 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 lift. At the chest. Lift, 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 lift. At the chin. Lift, 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 lift. Keep lifting. Wherever you are, keep lifting. Stand nice and tall. Chest. Taking down. Good. Belly button. Get those knees to hit the thighs, the arms, down to the hips. Take it down. Well done, and stop. Get yourself a quick drink. Good. Get a quick drink. And we're gonna get ready to go. Whoops, music's gone. What's happened here? Apologies. Right. Okay. Okay, get yourself a quick drink, guys. And we're going to start. Just turn this down so you can hear me clearly. And remember to work at your own pace. So we've got the mat on the floor. And I'm going to show you from different angles where I'm working. This is the band. I'm going to take a seat on the floor, place the band around my feet. So it's like so. Yep. So that's what it looks like from the side. This exercise that we're going to do is going to also not just work the legs inside and the outside, but it's also going to work the hips. So what we do, we lie down, our palms will face the ground, flat on the floor, nice long arms, legs go up, turn the feet to the ceiling, and as we pull the leg wide, you'll feel it straight through, right down to your bottom. Keeping that back pushed into the floor. So let me show you from the side. I don't want you to arch your back so you can see your hand come through like so. I want you to push that back into the floor, turn the feet to the ceiling. Notice my feet are here. Turn to the ceilings, hands flat down, and we'll pull that leg. Yeah, we're doing 3 sets of 15. So legs up, turn the feet to the ceiling, so your toes are towards you, hands flat, and let's pull. Pull the abs in, so engage your core. Pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Tuck those knees in. You might feel it at your bottom as well. Just across your bottom here. The lower part of your bottom is where you'll feel it. We're gonna go again. This is our second set. Hands flat, toes turned towards me, legs nice and tight, nice and strong, and let's pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Neutral spine, so nice flat back. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Take those knees in and just roll from side to side. One more round. So we start with the band on the feet. Flat, keep it nice and flat, remember. Okay, legs go up. Turn those toes towards you so that the feet are flat towards the ceiling. Hands down, and let's pull for 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feel the hips. 8, 9, 10. Feel the bottom. 12, 13, 14, 15. Tuck those knees in and just roll from side to side. You should feel your abs working as well. You're engaging your whole core doing these exercises. Okay, we're now going to move the band to our ankles. Now we're working the thighs even more. Yep. So we're here. I'm going to turn around so you can see. Again, I'm going to turn my feet towards the ceiling, the sole of my feet towards the ceiling, so my toes come towards me, my hands are down, and I'm going to pull. Be careful how you pull. You don't want to stop the band. So you just take the legs out. You don't want to collapse it in so the band falls. You've got to keep that band nice and taut. So you're here, and then pull it wide and bring it back. Let's go for 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feeling the top of those legs working right around here through the hips. Yep. When we've got that looseness sometimes, we're working that and we're shaping the bottom, shaping the thighs. Second round. Off we go. Pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull the abs in. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Bring those knees in. Roll from side to side. The legs are going to feel it today. We're really working those legs. I want you to use the bands because working with resistance helps you in so many ways. It strengthens, it tones. There's so much you can do with these bands. You can get different resistant bands as well. Okay, last set. You can get different strengths. This one is a medium. Let's go. Last 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Bring those knees in, roll from side to side, feeling it through the bottom, the side of the hips, the side of the thighs. Good. Okay, now we're going to take the band just below our knees like so. Let me turn so you can see. So it's just dropped below our knees, above our knees here. So you're taking it from the calf, from the ankle, above to on the thighs, just at the top of the knees. You're then going to drop your feet down, like so. Keep the feet flat, and then you're going to have the palms down and just take the legs out. This one is working the hips and the inside of the thighs, also your pelvic floor, because I want you to pull the muscles in the pelvic floor in, pull in the pelvic floor, and push that back into the mat and take the legs out to the side. I'm going to turn this way, so hopefully you can see my legs. So we're here, and let's take the legs out. Good. So feet stay flat, and we're going to pull for 20. 1, 2, pull the abs in. 3, keep the band flat. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7. Pull it in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Tuck those knees in. Roll from side to side. As we're doing this exercise, I want you to engage your core. Pull everything nice and tight. Yep. Keep the feet flat. Let's go down again. Feet down. Legs hip width apart. And let's take those knees out and bring them in. We're doing 20. Off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8. Feel the hips. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Well done. Tuck those knees in. Roll from side to side. You're feeling it all across here, the top part of your glutes, your bottom. The big muscle here is where you're feeling it across, straight through the hips. Okay, last one. Feet flat, hands down by the side, or keep your hands in your thighs just to hold the band. We don't want to snap it. Okay, so you keep the feet flat, you just opening and closing. There's a machine in the gym. It works with adductors and abductors. This is exactly what we're doing, lying down. Don't arch the back, push the back into the mat, pull the glutes, pull in the muscle, the pelvic floor muscles, and let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Okay, take the band off your legs for a moment and just stretch out those legs. Good, and stretch the arms. Well done. Bring one leg in and just stretch it, taking it from side to side. Let's just stretch it out. Good. If you found that this was too easy, it might be that you need a stronger band. And trust me, if you get the stronger band, you will feel the difference. Just take the leg out to the side and bring it back to the center, just stretching it out. Good. Okay, let's put the band back onto the ankles. Remember I said we're working the legs? We're gonna turn onto the side. You're on the side of your hips, and we're gonna take the leg up and down to 10. This one is working the hips again, the inside of the thighs, but a lot harder than when you're lying down on the floor or standing. Okay, so elbows under the shoulders, supporting hand in front, the other hand nice and flat, and let's take that leg up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Turn onto the other side. You're gonna feel it on the thighs, on the hips. Are we ready? Elbow under the shoulder, supporting hand on the front of the floor. Don't lean back, don't lean too far forward. You want to be on your hip. So you're on your hip, and let's lift that leg. Off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Come back to the other side. Good. If you want to lie down and do this one, you can have your hand on your head like so. Under your head, elbow under your shoulder. And then you're here. And just take it up. Hand here, supporting hand again. And let's do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Back onto the other side. One more. Come on, we can do this. Onto the side. Remember, we're not leaning forward. We stay on the side of the hip. The supporting hand is here. Elbow under the shoulder. And let's lift. 1, 2, 3, 4. Working the side. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Well done. Good. Just bring those knees in. Roll from side to side. Good. Okay, next exercise we're doing is working the front of the thighs. So we're going to lie down with legs straight. Again, the band will be around the ankle. And we're here. Hands flat, or you can have your hands up. And we're going to lift one leg at a time. This exercise is working the 3 big major muscles in the front of your thighs. As you lift it up, you'll feel those muscles working and come straight through your IT band from your hips, right through. That's what we're working. Okay? Let's go. Here we go. And lift. 1, 2, 10, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull it tight. 7. Push that back into the mat. 9, 10. And relax. Onto the other leg. Push that back. We don't want to arch. So I don't want to see an arch like this in the back. Pull it down into the mat. Okay, let's go. Safety first. If you need to rest, guys, please rest. If you need a drink, please have a drink. And let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Tuck those knees in. Good, and just roll from side to side. Well done. We've got 2 more rounds on each side. Legs straight out. Arms up if you need to. Push that back into the mat. Lower back into the mat. And lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Onto the other side. You can feel it through your thighs. Off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Tuck those knees in. Roll from side to side. Well done. Good. Okay, last one. Last one. Extend those legs. Good. Arms up, or you can have your hands flat by the side. I like to keep my arms up because it makes me push myself more. When I push my body into that, I stretch my arms out. Let's lift. Off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Onto the other side. Last and final one. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Tuck those knees in. Tuck the knees in. Roll from side to side. Good. Well done. Drop the feet down. Nice and flat. Arms out to the side. Hands flat on the floor. Feet flat. Drop your knees to the right. Keep the feet together and look in the opposite direction. Good. Well done. We're just stretching out, keeping the shoulders on the floor as well. Come back to the center. Adjust the body, get the posture right, and drop the knees to the left and look in the right direction. Good. Keep the feet together. Keep the shoulders on the floor. Well done. Good. Well done. Come back together. Take the feet up. Take the band off. Put it to one side. Lift your feet up into the air. And just take them back. Oh, sorry. First of all, they're here. So grab the toes. If you can't take your legs straight, just grab your big toes. And then you're going to lift your legs up into the air if you can. And just lift up like so, just to stretch out that lower back. If you can't do it like that, just stay here holding the knees and just lift, hug the knees and just lift as far as you can lift. But if you can, you'll lift up like so, just lifting, keeping those legs nice and straight. So you're stretching out the back of the legs as well. 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. Bring those knees down. Take the arms out to the side again. And this time you're going to take your knees to the right elbow. Your right knees to the right elbow here. Then you're going to take your hand out to the feet. Hold on to the big toe. Look in the other direction. Good. Bring the knees back down. Bring it back to the center. Take it to the left elbow. Feet to the hands. And look in the opposite direction. And feel that stretch across the back. Good. Well done. Good. Bring the knees back in. Come back to the center. Drop the feet. And from here, we're going to stay here and we're just going to open the legs and place the feet together. So we're stretching out the inside of the thighs. So I'm going to turn this way. So we're like so. Put the feet like this together, but we're lying down in that position and stretching those arms out to the side. Your feet is at the side. So we're trying to force the knees to the outside. Good. Keep the arms out. Then we're going to bring the knees back up. And then we're going to take the legs wide, still lying down. We're going to drop the knees into the center and then come back to flat foot. Then drop to the center again. Feel the stretch on the hip. Keep the back, try to keep the back nice and flat as we do this movement. Let's do 2 more on each side. So feel that stretch through the hips, through the thigh, from the knee, and across the back from the obliques. Okay, and again. We've got 1 more on each side. Keep that body nice and long. Pull the abs in, nice and long, nice and controlled. Okay, last one on each side. Drop that knee in. Good. And just hold it there and breathe into that stretch. And then bring that knee back up. Drop to the other side again, the other one inside. Good. Pull the abs in and feel that stretch. Good. Come back to the center. Stretch both feet out and stretch the arms above the head and really stretch, really stretch, really stretch, really stretch, really stretch. And then come to a sitting position. Well done. Come to a sitting position. Roll the shoulders back. Roll the shoulders forward. Put your hands on your shoulders and do big circles with those elbows. Keep the spine nice and long. And then let's take it back. Big elbow circles. We're really rotating to release. Full body, good, from the shoulders. Then we're going to take the arms up and stretch up. Good. Those of you that are on the floor, bring your knees in, take your hand and fold it under your thighs like so. And you're going to hold on to it. You're going to keep your chest and your lips on your thighs. And this is what I want you to do to stretch out. We're going to walk the feet out. Keep your face on your knees. Keep it on your knees until you get to here. If you're here nice and flat, nice and low, that's great. If you can remove your hands and then grab your toes, that's great. If you can only go here or here or here or here, wherever you go, just hold that and rock from side to side. You'll feel the stretch from your lower back right through your bottom, right round to the thighs and the back of your legs, your hamstrings and your calf. Just rock. And then walk yourself back up. And just stretch it one more time. Good. And after doing this exercise, guys, I'm going out like so. When we get used to doing it, I want you to then be able to sit tall like so and just fall forward and grab. Yeah. So well done. Hope you've enjoyed the session. And that was all leg work today, guys. So next week, we're going to have an even more fun-filled, full, vibrant session. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next week. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you so much for, again, a very active session. You can see I was trying to do some of my exercises here from my seat, only because I have to keep an eye on the computer. That's the only reason why I'm not standing up. That's my excuse anyway. But wonderful. Thank you so much. Just want to remember there's lots, CAHN has got so many things, so many events coming up over the next few days and weeks. So please, we've put lots of things in the chat box. We have Health Hour on Saturday. We're talking about kidneys in your health, which is so important. So I would encourage you all to come along on Saturday to learn more about your kidney and your health around your kidney. Next week Tuesday, we're going to be at Healthy Hearts. We're going to be looking at breakfast, and what we're encouraging everyone to do is to send photographs of your breakfast. We've put a special phone number in there for you to send those pictures of your breakfast, as I said, so that we can be accountable and that we can actually get some feedback on the kind of breakfasts that we're eating.
Hi, Karen. Sorry, Martha put in the chat that she didn't have a band. I didn't see that.
Yes.
If you have anything that's stretchy, Martha, sometimes I've recommended people to use a pair of tights or something like that, like the stretchy tights that you can get, and the 30 denier ones and things like that, and you just tie them in a knot and use it. But the bands are available in Argos and other places, but if CAHN have got any, please do speak to Karen, and you can see if they have any, please.
I've got it in hand. So Martha, I will contact you and let you know where we're up to with the bands. But thank you.
Okay, otherwise I'll try and get one from Argos.
No, we've got one for you. Don't you worry. You're one of our regulars. So please encourage you to use this as a resource. It's on Facebook. You can go back and you can have a look at it and do the exercise all over again. So I look forward to seeing you all next week. But before I go, I want to say thank you to Tai, thank you to Doretta for a wonderful session. See you soon. Bye-bye.